Hello, this is Matt Cameron from Soundgarden and Pearl Jam, and I am here to support Keep Music Live, a very, very important organization. The organizers have requested that we share a memory from a local music venue that helped shape our sensibilities as young musicians from that time. And the music venue that comes to mind for me personally is a place that was around in the early to mid 80s. It was a venue in Pioneer Square in Seattle called the Metropolis. It was an all ages venue, gathering space, workshop, etc. It just felt like our little small counterculture scene at that time in Seattle had we had a clubhouse. I got to see bands like the Blackouts, the E.U.A, the Melvins, Crypt Kicker 5, just various other local rock bands at that time that were sort of formulating this new rock local music scene that would eventually become part of a very popular cultural movement. So I felt like, these early venues that we were able to gather at really sort of formulated our sensibilities as musicians and artists. And it was really important for us to do that together as opposed to, just like staying in our basements and our garages. The Metropolis, man, that place was magic. I have so many good memories of attending shows there. I actually got to play there once or twice with Bam Bam, a group that was fronted by the incredible Tina Bell. And then I just also want to say, I know that we'll get through this together. We'll get back to where we were at some point. I hope that's sooner than later. All of the people that are working in these venues are really struggling right now. So it's important for all of us to contribute and help out the music culture that we're all so proud to be a part of. So thank you so much for letting us contribute, and we look forward to live music hopefully in the near future. Take care. Thank you.
So I got a chance to talk to someone who's become a dear friend, and it was an honor to speak with him. And I don't have any words after that whole thing that just happened. So let's just get into the clip. This is an interview I got to do with the wonderful Mike McCready of Pearl Jam. Hey everyone, you are watching the Keep Music Live's Band Together Washington live stream, and this benefit is featuring legendary concert footage, live performances, and intimate conversations with some of Washington's most celebrated faces and spaces in music. Proceeds from this event will provide much needed COVID-19 relief grants for small, independently owned music venues across Washington state. And thanks for being a part of Keep Music Live's Band Together Washington event. Mike, how you doing?
I'm good. Hi, Eva. Yeah, of course. I've spent a lot of times and many years in many clubs in Seattle.
Yeah, and like you, I miss live music and want to make sure that our live independent venues that were the first to close will be able to reopen when it's safe, of course. And I support our independent venues because it's where community comes together. And I'm curious, why are independent music venues important to you?
Well, as I was saying, when we started way back in the 90s, we were playing clubs, and I was going to clubs, and it was all part of the culture of Seattle, Washington, in terms of the music that was for many, many years prior to the mid 80s up until the 90s. There wasn't a lot of clubs. Then there started to be more clubs, and there were crazy laws in Seattle, and I'm not going to get all into that. When we were young, you couldn't get into clubs, and then when you could, it was this kind of a cornucopia of a cool experience to go see your friends play, go to the Rainbow, go to the Vogue, and it was where you made connections. It's where you played music. It's where you started bands. It was all the clubs that were out back then and up until, recently, have been incredibly important for bands to hone their music. And I'm sure you have done the same thing, And
Oh,
we
yeah.
did that with our band, and we've done it with, I'm sure you have too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that actually makes me curious. Where did you play your first show?
We played our first show at the Off Ramp, which is called, what is it called now? The
El Corazon?
Corazon,
Is that the same one?
Yeah, same one. So it has the pole on the thing, and Ed had come up here, and we had known him for about 6 days, or 7 days, and then on the 8th day we played the show, our first show as Mookie Blaylock, or I don't even know if we had a name or whatever. We're formerly Mother Lebon or something, but we played there, and we were so. I've seen pictures; they're just very disjointed, and it almost looks like, look who we're just trying to figure out who we are.
Yeah.
But it was significant in that was our first show together, and I didn't want to play it because I felt like if we were trying to get out of another record deal at that time. I'm going to get way too into this, so I need to stop. And for Mercury, that label wasn't going to be great in terms of what Jeff and Stone were thinking. So I felt we shouldn't play any shows because I felt like we were really good, even though we had only played for a little bit. It was okay. Stone's like, forget it. We're going to play anyways. And so we did it. And our first show was there. Probably October 1990, October 1990.
Nice. So, I'm glad you said Off Ramp because it actually reminds me of the first time I played El Corazon when I was a teenager, and I was like, "Mom, I have like this show," and it was my second show, like as maybe second show as a musician playing with other people, and my mom was like, "Oh, you're playing? What was that?
What was it? Black Tones, or was it your own?"
No, it was a little group my friends and I put together in high school called Trash Queen. Awesome. I didn't come up with the name, but we were called Trash Queen. And my mom was like, "Oh, you have a show at the Off Ramp?" And I was like, "What is the Off Ramp? Like, I've never heard of that. What is she talking about?" And then she was like, "Well, it's called El Corazon now." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's where it was." So she remembers it being called the Off Ramp, and I was just completely like, I don't know what that is.
I was with your mom on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not playing a show on the entrance of the freeway, if that's what you're talking about. So love it. So small stages, I mean, it's really where a lot of artists get their start. Of course, my band as well, and your band, and even artists like you, like Pearl Jam, as I said. So now the moment we've been waiting for. Can you tell us about the legendary concert footage we're about to see of Pearl Jam?
Yeah. So I think there's two things that we're going to see, and one of them is 2002. That we played. I'm looking for them. Some of the footage you're going to see is one of the shows we played at the Showbox in 2002. It's a version of Better Man, and we specifically wanted to play the Showbox. I think it was 4 shows prior to that tour, so we could warm up there to get ready for our big U.S. and maybe world tour after that. So yeah, 2002 Showbox version of Better Man. And then the other thing that we're about to see is a version of the Dead Boys' Sonic Producer from one of the first night of the home shows in Seattle, Washington. And just love playing that song. So there's two kind of extreme examples of where we played in Seattle, I guess.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Mike. So amazing to talk to you, and thanks for your support. And remember, everyone, to please also support our small stages by donating to Keep Music Live. All right, let's see this legendary concert moment by Pearl Jam.
I'm crying.
Wow, man.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better group of big brothers in Seattle. Pearl Jam
They got it handled.
They kind of show up. We're going to queue up another nugget here. From the home shows. They raised over $11 million for homelessness for this state, for this town.
Mean, every time they could literally wake up and fart on a mic and raise another $5 million. I mean, they care.
I feel they could. If Pearl Jam farted on a mic,
would you buy it?
I've already bought it.
Yeah, there you go.
And
No,
I put it out on vinyl, and I've made a T-shirt, and I've given it away. You guys, thank you so much for watching this. Here's some Pearl Jam because
I gotta say this. I gotta say this before I get out of here. Somebody
Wait,
keeps
we're not
asking
leaving.
me to say it. Oh, okay. Well,
This
somebody
is
keeps
the
asking
end.
me to say this, so I'm gonna say it. Yes, I still eat a Dick's Deluxe, and I dip my fries in tartar sauce.
Oh Jesus, Pearl
They've been
Jam
hitting
now.
me up.
You guys
Yes.
keep
Yes.
music goddamn live. Do you know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
Stone, Jeff, Mike, Ed, Matt, you guys are amazing. Your fans are amazing. You are such a gem in the band of this city. And thank you for all you do.